I'm going to talk about ethics and governance in the context of the banking sector. One of the kind of important issues I think we've seen, or most ethical issues we've seen in the banking sector, is that of lending practices. Often what we see is banks being innovative and creating new products but lowering their lending standards. So in effect they're lending money to people who can't necessarily afford the products that they're buying, or the product isn't necessarily a good deal for the customer. Now you as students are likely, if you haven't been already, to be the targets of banks. They'll want your business and they will likely to want to sell you credit cards, and if they can, they'd probably like to sign you up for multiple credit cards. What they're doing is they're offering you a product that may or may not be in your best interest. And what it may do is it might encourage you to manage your finances in a way that make them a lot of money. Now in some communities that can lead to kind of cycles of poverty where people basically live month to month on credit cards and don't really have savings, aren't really building equity in the way that often that you as probably soon to be graduate students are going to be thinking about conducting your lives. Now if you're employed by a bank, I think it's highly likely that you will see and be exposed to a code of conduct. Probably one of the first things you'll do as part of your induction or joining the company will be either signing off that you're aware of the code of conduct or some type of training around that. Now codes of conduct often have kind of two elements to them. There's the element that the company wants to see that you comply with the professional behaviour that they want to see from you in the workplace, and there's often an element of values, and that's a bit more aspirational. These are the values of the company, and this is what the company stands for. So working in a bank, some of the issues you're going to see are probably about lending practices, and I think a big issue of that is to make sure that people are not rewarded, the people that work selling the products are not rewarded for unethically selling them, for selling products to people that can't afford them or for whom they are not, for whom they're not well suited. Now, if you work in a global bank or a bank with operations in multiple locations, you know, you start to face this issue of how might I reconcile my own values operating in one context with those in others. What's generally said about transferring your ethics is that the highest standard of ethical conduct, whichever country or location you find yourself in that has the highest standard of ethical conduct, should potentially be transferred to countries with different standards of ethical conduct. Applying your ethics across in different environments does necessitate some cultural understanding and awareness.